that makes it kind of funky because think about this. We're at a point now even more where employees are starting to stand up like, bro, like you asking for too much and paying for too little. You did what I'm saying? Either pay me more, you're gonna get less. And with these younger generations coming up, that's becoming more affluent more than ever. So you trying to turn what would normally be a 200-person job into a 50-person job. What are you paying me and how much workload are you giving me? Like that's not
Right.
gonna fly.
The problem is, right, and I love being on this side of it now. Oh, this is real good. The problem is, like, I can see, like, you can clearly see the dead space, and it's like then I guess owners of those companies, they don't. I guess they don't understand the dead space, how much dead space is there. And now when they see it, they're like, "Whoa, there's a lot of idle time here." Wait, hold
It
on.
is,
We don't
but
need 200 guys to run
I
this thing.
don't. And so I think it has to be a business. So, but what kind of business? It might be another version of what was there. You know how those places do, like a Kohl's go away and a Bed Bath and Beyond comes and puts in and takes up that space type shit.
I don't think so because the problem is that there's not enough money coming in to run those big businesses like that. And what's happening is the commercial loans they're due now, like in I think it's 2024 or 2025. The interest rates are going to hike up on those loans because they got like a what's called I think a arms loan or something like that. Basically, there's a type of loan where it's not a fixed rate. So the rate is going to go up to now where the rates are very high. So the rates are going to hit that soon in 2024. So now we got less business, higher rates. That means that the loan that the people had on the business is more now, and they're already making less money. So people that's walking away, they say office buildings and all that is the first thing that's going to get eliminated. Because, like, think about it. What do you need an office building for? They need all those employees. They working from home now. They found a new way of work. Even before
Well,
COVID, this was happening.
well, yeah. I mean, that's why you got a lot of companies trying to force their employees back so they can make sense and justify uh those mortgages for those spaces. So, I mean, that's yet to be seen how that's going to pan out.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm pretty sure some offices are going to go. Some businesses are going to be like, bro, we can at least downsize. We don't need
yeah.
a place this big. We can downsize.
Like think of a bank. Think of a bank. Look how big banks are. A bank don't need to be that big. A bank could be the size of a corner store.
True,
Like think about it.
true.
If you look at the world economics from a district manager standpoint at Home Depot, think about it that way. Where it's like, yo, my job is to try to save as much money as I can. Hold up. Only three people in this Wells Fargo right now. I've been here for the
Well,
past month. I've been walking this Wells Fargo for the past month. I don't need this big ass double two-story spot on a
that's
corner, you know?
that's that's thinking from just money in money out standpoint. But when it comes to this like that those business real estate, bro, you see businesses and warehouses and stay vacant for years. They keep paying on that mortgage for whatever reason, whoever it's owned by, and I'm quite sure they have a strategic reason in some backdoor way that they're still making their money, or at least it's not affecting them. So I don't think those things will change. I think when it comes to like those big buildings and shit like that, when it comes to those portfolios, because they're owned by like those mega churches and all those billionaires, brother. I don't see them selling it and just making it disappear. They're gonna hold it and it's gonna sit there and it'll sit vacant. Like I've never seen any of them have a problem with leaving those properties vacant for years.
Right,
If that was the
until they
case,
figure out.
I'm sorry. If that's the case, they'll say, "Fuck it, it's been vacant for 5 years, 7 years. Let me drop the price and at least rent it out for something, so I can have some money coming in." I don't think they're looking at it like that. Otherwise, all the places wouldn't be vacant.
I actually think it's gonna happen exactly that way. They're gonna find some creative way to make use of these big buildings that nobody's gonna come into. I just look at it like, man, if I worked in these spots, I'll just look at it like, damn, every day I go to work, I'm like, yo, this ain't like nothing going on. There's very few spots that got a lot going on. Like if I go to the Home Depot in Newark, there's a lot going on. It's like moving, moving, moving. I guess some spots like hubs areas like the Jersey City Lowe's, Home Depot, is a lot going on. But certain areas and certain like little mini malls, I'm like, yo, There's nothing that's
dead.
going to come here. It's nothing that could come here that's going to bring a lot of people here that's going to keep this going, even if it's popping.
Well, it all
Because
depends on who.
it's too much money. It's
It
too
all
much
depends
money.
on. It all depends on who owns that space. It
Wait,
all
if he
depends on
owns
who
it,
owns that space.
if he owns it right now, I mean, like I said, it just seems like it's very expensive to own those buildings, and it's going to be even more expensive now in the next coming years. And people just
So,
going to have to, they're going to want to do away with those somehow.
so if that's the case, explain why even before COVID, you had so many spots that was already vacant. We could think of all the stores and buildings around our neighborhood that we've seen vacant for decades, and they didn't say, you know what, let me just rent it out for a little cheaper so I can get some. That didn't make them do it then. So why would that behavior change? Like, I don't see this climate making that type of behavior change. Whatever they got going on to allow them to do that, I think that'll continue. Now, I do see like some. Think about downtown Newark and how that's changed. A lot of those old office buildings have been converted to apartments. It's been real gentrified downtown Newark. A lot of those office buildings are now apartments. So that type of stuff, maybe
Right.
I can see
All
happening.
that's what I'm saying. All commercial from the real estate standpoint, all commercial is going to be toast. Like, I don't know what they're going to do. And I don't know if those people were holding those properties for decades before. I get what you're saying, but the business model is totally different. The business model is totally different. Like, you can't open up the same things anymore and make the same amount of money. Like, you think Chuck E. Cheese making the same amount of money they made before
Of
years
course
ago?
not. Chuck E. Cheese is a ghost town compared to what it used to be. I mean, people
Right.
still go to it though. Shit, you
But
know what I
imagine if you had a
mean?
big Right, but imagine you had a big Chuck E. Cheese facility whose mortgage is about to come due with the new interest rates now, where you don't have a fixed rate. Imagine you got these commercial properties and you don't have a fixed rate on it, and your new mortgage is going to come due in 2024, which is going to be higher right now while you're making less money. So that's the conundrum that everybody's going to be in. And every single, like you said, every single building is not zoned to be residential; is zoned for other things. So yeah, I think they're going to remain vacant for a long time, for a real long time. I don't see how they ever going to come back. I don't see people piling up in buildings like that a lot. Maybe you could turn them into like those jungle gyms or whatever the people have, and turn them into something else. But
I don't even think you can do that after people so germy after COVID. So I don't even think that's like
yeah,
super like.
everything just looks like a little bit like watered down from the way it was like years ago because of, who knows, lack of money, lack of funds, inflation, all those things are going on, and it all is because of the housing market. The prices are up too high. And then think about this, it's going to trickle down on everybody, because if these big businesses that was making money before can't pay the taxes in the towns, who do you think the taxes are going to fall on? The taxes are going to fall on the people in the town that's working, because they got to pay the
I don't.
taxes.
Yeah, I don't see it crumbling to that magnitude though. I don't think that's going to happen. Not to that magnitude. I don't.
To what magnitude?
Like I think you're always going to have smaller businesses who can't sustain because of that. I think you're always going to have smaller homeowners who can't sustain, but I think you're always going to have someone who can sustain, who will take it right up and make it work. So like
Well,
I
yeah,
don't think that's
that's
a problem.
right. But if I was thinking about it from that point of view, I just never bring it up, because I'm not thinking about the big guys. I'm thinking about this regular people. There's a lot of regular people that
Oh
own these
yeah.
businesses too.
Oh
Regular
yeah,
people,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay,
Make no
okay,
mistake,
okay.
there's a
So you
recession.
got to
Like, I look,
paraphrase that because
no, no, no,
you didn't start it that way. So I didn't think
no,
of
but
it that way. You're right.
yeah, yeah. I look at these things every day when it comes to the real estate and the business and the stuff like that, interest rates. So these are things that I'm thinking, but there are people actually saying that do the research with economics and stuff like that. Like, it's a bad situation that's about to happen soon when it comes to those type of buildings and stuff. And it's gonna trickle down on everybody until they fix interest rates. It's just weird. I don't know why they're doing that type of shit, man. Like, they
Oh,
want people to
oh,
get fired and shit
they
like that.
do. They do. That's the logic. You're right. You're right because the bigger guys will be fine. They'll always be fine. You're right. It's the smaller people and with the interest rates. But don't forget the whole philosophy of leveling out the economy is to take money from people and to take away their disposable income. So when you take away people's disposable income, the theory is then the price of everything will go down because less people will have money to spend on things. So yeah, that's just like, yo, bro. The logic is like, oh, we're gonna make people unemployed. We're gonna make people spend their savings. We're gonna make them vulnerable, and then the availability of those goods, the cost will go down because is not gonna have that money to go to buy things. So
Right.
the way the government do it is weird. I understand what they're doing, but like, bro, after all this time, is that the only solution? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
bro, in 2023, the only solution you got as a government to help inflation is to make more people poor. Like, that shit is the most batshit logic.
And
Like, it
look,
gotta be people smarter than me that can make sense of that, bro.
right. But it's just economics. But look, think about what I was saying too. More along the line, what I was saying is this, right? I'm just before and ahead of the things. This based off of what all the information I'm gathering. I'm just taking risk with my thinking. Like, check it out. Take a place like I see a place like DSW shoes, right? You see how big DSW shoes is? You could buy DSW shoes online. I don't
Correct.
need to have this big ass warehouse no more. And guess
That
what?
is
This big
correct.
ass warehouse is gonna cost me more money in 2 years. And I'm making less money than I was making before when I first started it. And I have more employees. Like, this is not the good. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't
Tou-
need this big spot. I'm not
Touche,
getting a business no more.
touche.
I,
Now
I
he
actually
might.
like when I see people and a bunch of people in one spot. You don't see that no more. Like, you just don't really see it no more, unless it's some holiday rush or something like that. Or you go to like hub spots, like you could like Jersey Gardens or something like that. You can see a lot of people. Other than those hub spots, it's like people are pretty scattered. You know, you could buy, look at Amazon, you can buy everything online.
I mean, yeah, because I
Everything
mean, truth
online.
be told, why the fuck would you go to some place and stand in line if you don't have to? Like, if you
But
know your size and
I want to
you
see this
know what
stuff.
you want, nah, bro, nah,
Think about
bro.
this.
Like,
Okay, think about Sam. What's that place? The guitar place on 22. Sam Auto. What is it? It's a guitar place at 22. I think it's a
Sam
Guitar
Goody,
Center. It might be a Guitar
whatever.
Center, right? Let's
Yeah,
take it a
yeah.
Guitar Center. You see how big that place is? That edifice is beautiful. It's a nice place. I don't need that big place. I could put all that stuff in a corner store. People are buying the
No, you're not
majority of
putting
that
that in the
equipment
corner. You're
online.
not down. Yo, that
You see
still
what I'm
got
saying?
mad shit in it, bro.
Hey, have you ever seen like a Chinese store that's well equipped and has everything perfect and neat?
Hey, yo,
A store like
hey,
that.
yo.
A store like that. Listen, because look, I can afford that rent. I can afford that rent. I can't afford a rent of a big ass, cathedral. I'm not about to have, come on, those places are beautiful. When they built those
But
places,
that
they
place,
overdid it.
that place, you know what. As I'm thinking about that place, it's a lot of dead space in it, so it can be
Come on, bro.
compartmentalized for that space. You're right,
Come
because
on.
you got to amp a wall
Yeah,
with
right.
just two
Come on.
amps on it. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
come on.
I mean, from
And
that
then think
logic,
about how big it
yeah.
is. It could be one, that's only one level. And look how high the ceiling is, how high the building is. Come on, that's a waste of height too. It's a waste of height. You can have a second level on there, multiple, it's just too much. And down the street from there, the Bob stores or
But
whatever, the Christmas tree place closing down.
you that Christmas place, you ain't never lied, bro.
That
Like,
big,
but
that
but
big
but
ass parking
but
lot.
but I think that was already foregone because just of the times we are. Like, we no longer do you go to a Christmas store and just shop for Christmas shit.
Hold on. No
Like,
longer do you go to Bob stores neither, right? Bob stores is gone.
I mean, no longer do you need to go to those places.
Right. And a lot of the places that are still existing are only because they have that hub effect right now. When that's gone, they're gonna be gone too. Like, why does Dick's Sporting Goods need to be that big?
You ain't never lied, bro.
Like, these
You
places
ain't
are
never
huge.
lied. I was just in the other day how to buy basketball. You ain't never lied. It's a lot of dead space in there.
God, you're like, yo,
But
bro.
but I mean, I guess places like that will always, I mean, yeah, because they'll just close a store too to make it profitable, to make
Right. There
the
you go.
numbers work.
That's what I'm
You feel what
saying.
I'm
They'll do
saying?
something like
So
that.
yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
like, yo,
yeah.
I can't afford this big ass place right here
We don't
unless
need
I
to run
close.
12 of them. We can just run
Yeah.
this with 8 and still make that money. And with what we're doing online, it'll balance the books out. Everyone doesn't have that luxury though. So you're
Yeah.
right. And you're right. I mean, when you look at it, yeah, because outside now the building closed, then you got the people in the building, employees, and how that's going to affect and how that trickle down just goes all the way down to the bottom. So
Yeah. So that's the
but
thing. Like, where the new jobs, where the new, like, when we were coming up, we had like traditional jobs. We have ordinary jobs, regular jobs, high paying jobs, mid level paying jobs, low paying jobs, whatever. You can get a job. You can get a job. Now, think about it like the next generations when it's like the old way of working, people don't do those things. We don't need that many people. Like, what are the jobs going to be? Is it going to be like the independent employment, like Ubers and stuff like that? Is it going to be that type of employment? Because look, I don't need 30 of you guys. I don't need, matter of fact, not 30. Let's just keep it real. I don't need 200 of you guys to work in this warehouse. I don't need 200. Now I'm going to take 50. I'm going to take 50 people and I'm going to run this whole warehouse. I don't need
You know
200.
what? I don't know. Damn, like even that makes it kind of funky because think about this. We're at a point now even more where employees are starting to stand up like, bro, like you asking for too much and paying for too little. You did what I'm saying? Either pay me more, you're gonna get less. And with these younger generations coming up, that's becoming more affluent more than ever. So you trying to turn what would normally be a 200-person job into a 50-person job. What are you paying me and how much workload are you giving me? Like that's not
Hey,
gonna fly.
the problem is, right? And I love being on this side of it now. Oh, this is real good. The problem is like I can see, like you can clearly see the dead space. And it's like then I guess owners of those companies, I guess they don't understand the dead space, how much dead space is there. And now when they see it, they're like, whoa, there's a lot of idle time here. Wait, hold
It
on.
is,
We don't
but
need 200 guys to run this
I
thing.
don't I don't know if that's realistic to to expect someone to have zero idle time. And I think that's why you have those extra people. I think that's unrealistic. I don't think you're going to be able to get that.
But check this out. This sounds realistic to me. Let's take 200 to 50, right? And you guys
Mhm.
want to get paid more because people complaining about the work is too hard. Okay, I'm going to pay you considerably more, but you're not going to have the cavalry, and that's going to soup you up to work a little bit because it's money. Now I'd
Correct.
rather pay you more than pay 125 other people. And
Now
then
you'll
think
get
about
it
it.
though.
They
Now
doing
you'll
that
get it.
everywhere. They're doing that everywhere. ESPN, Disney, they're doing that everywhere. Like it's almost like, yo, I'm not
But
paying for this idle time
look
no
at
more.
the
What's the
jo-
point of me
but
paying you
look
when
at
I
the
don't have
jobs you're
to?
saying though. We're not talking about those higher paying jobs. We're talking
Well,
about
hold on.
think
Yes, we
about
are. ESPN, the analysts, they're going through the same thing. They
well,
getting fired left and right. Disney people, actors, actresses, like it's hard for everybody across the board.
I think and yeah, and everybody's gonna have to find a pivot, bro. They're gonna have to
That's what
find
I'm
a
saying.
pivot.
It's gonna be a
But
new
where's
like
that pivot at is the
I don't know.
question.
I don't
That's
know.
the yeah. I don't think no one has an answer to that. It's funny because so here's this. It's funny you bring that up because I'm looking at the writer's strike, right? And
Right. I was about to get to that. The writer
I'm
strike.
like, I'm like, tough balls, bro. Like, fucking suck it up. Get another job. Like, figure it the fuck out. And some people like, bro, that's cruel. And I'm like, I look at it from this standpoint. Look at how music has changed and how that is streamed and how artists is paid. They had to figure out another way to make their money, whether it was going on tour more or you know what I mean, going
Right.
independent. And now the new model is streaming. So now, you know, maybe you have to negotiate your contracts. When I sign this role, you're gonna have to pay me more up front because I don't expect to make money on the back end. You dig what I'm saying? Because now everything is streamed. So I'm looking at the writers like, bro, like figure the fuck out. Like everybody else in America has had to figure out as their jobs has changed and the way where they were paid was changed, and they had to figure it out. Whether it was God, I like finding another job. Like I don't know, but I don't see much sympathy. I don't have much sympathy there because I think they just need to realize that that's how the industry has shifted.
That's a tough realization though, man. That's a
Yeah,
tough
that's
realization.
why.
So,
Yeah, because it happened so quick. They didn't have time to
yeah,
prepare. I think that's the problem. Like they didn't see the writing on the wall with that type of shit. I don't think they had time to prepare.
right.
So it was
So
like,
what is the issue? What is the real underlying issue there? They can't write scripts or shows because nobody's watching television no more like that, or what's going on?
well, what they're saying is like, so boom, you 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 write a movie, the movie is played, you get a big sum, right? Because you were hired. And then every time that movie is played, you would get a residual check. You would get a couple $100, every time it was played because it was played so many times. So now it's like you would get $400 or $500. Now, since I sold it to Netflix and all these other streams, you only getting a few cents now because the way the new contracts are and how so many people are streaming and shit. So the actors are like, bro, I don't get all this extra money I used to get anymore. Like, yeah, I made this show 3 years ago, but I used to get a lot of money from people watching it. Now I don't get that anymore. I'm mad. I want it. I want more. So like that's basically the whole problem.
Yeah,
But
it's tough, man. It's tough. That's a lot of people going through that shift, man. And the way to
yeah,
work is, yeah. A lot of people are going through that shift.
And that's where my little bit of lack of sympathy comes from, because bro, like I dig it. We're not saying, I don't think everyone is saying like all the actors are rich and all the writers are rich. Nah, like you're just like everyone else going through in America right now is finding a shit for your job. It is what it is.
You know, and it's kind of tougher for them because I would say like a writer, an actor or actress, they spent years on that craft and doing that. Like somebody that just, fill out an application is going in to fill out a job. Like, you were going to kind of go with what was given to you anyway. Whereas the actors and the writers, they kind of like, they put that craft together for years, man. And to all of a sudden see that there's a paradigm shift, that's a little tougher.
Look at athletes that don't make a lot of money on a professional circuit. What do? They go abroad. They go overseas. They play during the summer. I don't see them out there striking. You dig what I'm saying? So
right.
you might have to act overseas. That's pretty much it. You might have to act overseas.
So you're saying if it's something you enjoy and you love so much, you'll do anything to do it. And there are other avenues that are still available to you.
Correct.
Okay. So go to those avenues to do it.
And also they have to look at it like this. Like right now, like there's no movies, like can't write the new shows. I don't see nobody really complaining. Like ain't nobody missing their favorite television show right now. Nobody's having a problem finding anything to keep them entertained. So it's you imagine if the writers did the strike and TV just went off. You can't even turn on a show. You can't even watch a rerun of a show. You can't find anything to watch. They would hold so much power, right? But right now, the writers are on strike. Other than people showing you on social media, how would you know?
Right. You wouldn't feel it. Yeah.
So, unfortunately for them, like, where's your power in this dynamic? Like, you don't have any power in this dynamic. You're gone, and you're not noticed you're gone right now. So that's also the problem. It's a lot of stuff to keep people entertained. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. You know what I mean?
So look at it from a writer's point of view. So what does a writer do? They write script, right?
Yes.
They write script for shows. So I'm a fighter. If that were to happen to me and I see that, damn, I'm not making the same amount of money as I was making before. Now I'm a behind the scenes person because I'm a writer. So think about it. Now I have to develop a whole bunch of other skills to actually use my skill. I have to get to know people because I have to give this writing to somebody for them to actually act it out, right? So I have to figure my connections out. But before I was already connected because I worked for this company. I was already plugged in.
Correct.
I was already plugged in. Yeah. My gift was not plugging myself in. My gift was being able to write script. So now how do I take that and I implement that into the open world now?
I mean, who says again? Maybe they're writing overseas. Maybe they're going to Britain to write. Maybe they're going, in the UK. Like I don't know. Like I'm not a writer, so I don't have the answer. But again, I equate it to athletes when they play for professional teams and they don't feel they're making enough money to sustain their lifestyle. What they do, they play overseas. They play for another team.
Right.
They play during the summer. They figure it out. And that's just how I think this the writer strike. They're gonna have to figure it out.
This is crazy. But the athlete they had. I mean, you have people who've done that before. This is unprecedented. So that's what makes it different.
Whoa! Why is it unprecedented to write somewhere else or to write for someone else? I don't think that's unprecedented.
Well, now that there's a strike going on in America like that, for the writers, but I don't like. But now there's a writer strike. I'm just saying this is a little different from basketball. Like, if you're having trouble, you're not getting paid. I mean, like, there's a bunch of people like that
But
in basketball.
what's crazy though is you still see, I don't know, you still see Tubi, you still see Netflix originals coming out, right? You still see people writing. Now it seems like people that's only part of the union, the writers union, are on strike. So let's say tomorrow you say, hey Zay, I'm a writer, bro. I got a script. Bro, guess what? You can go take that script to fucking Netflix. And if it's dope enough, it's a movie. So again, they're on strike, but unfortunately, they're not missed. It's someone else, eager and willing, waiting to jump right in that slot, who's not part of that union. I got a script today. I'm gonna call up Netflix, bro. If it's good enough, they're gonna make it a fucking movie.
Okay, so that's what's happening. That's how. Okay, so this is about. That's what's going on when it comes to it. It's about a deal.
Yeah.
So you can go independent and just do writing all you want.
Correct. You could be an independent, but they're part of the union, so they're all out. But
so
again,
they said
as when
what they would do is
the
return
union,
to old careers.
you be an actor during the summer, maybe, and then be a gym teacher during the. Hey yo, I know a guy, right, who does acting, and I've seen him on a couple of shows. Like he's like plays like I don't know, a extra is the correct term. I don't know what the correct term, but I've worked with him. I'm not an actor. We had a regular old job. You did what I'm saying? And he has a regular job, and if a role comes up, guess what? He goes and take that role. And when he's not in that role, he works a job to make ends meet. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, they might have to be like teachers and get a summer job.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like I'm looking at all these people, like, wow, there are a lot of writers, man, for real. But like you said, I understand what you're saying with the basketball people, but like just like other jobs, man, it's a lot of people going through this type of new beginning.
Correct.
Yeah, people are writing all type of stuff on TikTok and everything. Ooh, it's bad, but just like everybody else, But it's just tough to see that that's happening, and people to put so much time into such a creative career and writing that it's become it seems like almost like not obsolete, but it's become harder to do that. Terrible.
I don't think either one of those are the question. I don't think either of those are a problem. It's just that they want more money for what they're like, hey Disney, I wrote for this movie and you made 50 billion off the movie. All right, fine, cool. You pay me whatever you pay me to write for that movie. But then you took that movie and then you sold it to let's say Netflix for another $78 million so they can stream it. How about you hit me with some of that? And basically Disney like, hey bro, like I gave you your money. Don't pocket watch me. Just because I'm making some moves over here with the product and I'm making more money with it, you want some of that cut too? Like, nah, bro, kick rocks with that. And that's basically the argument. You feel what I'm saying? They pocket watching. They like, bro, you making a lot of money off what we gave you, and we need some more of that back now. With inflation and everything that's going on, the money you've been giving us, that won't cut it. We need a bigger piece of that money come back. So it's not like the craft is harder, the craft is going obsolete. They just want a bigger piece of that residual pie. And the big dog's like, bro, we gave you some already. Relax. So that's why I'm like, you might gotta get a summer job, dude.
Yeah,
Or negotiate a larger sum up front for your writing. You dig what I'm saying? And again, I go back to teachers. I look at teachers all the time. Imagine like teachers or writers, bro. They write for several months of the year, and in some months of the year they don't write and they don't get paid. When school is out, teachers aren't getting paid. You dig what I'm saying? They don't have a check coming in
right.
when school is out. Some of them are doing other jobs. Some of them are on unemployment. Some of them is budget their money to carry them over throughout those couple of months off. So for them, they might have to make the same adjustment.
Yeah. From what the article I just read, it seemed like this type of stuff happens. Like that it's not like a steady thing all the time necessarily anyway. That's what it seemed like from this article I read. So I guess it's just one of those not popular, but one of those jobs that are suffering in this type of economy as well as everybody else, you know?
Correct. Correct.
So yeah, whereas everybody else. I say for myself, even myself, when I lost my job for what I lost it for, it wasn't for what they said. It was just more like, everybody's gonna be losing their jobs that make a certain amount of money in those positions, or at least eliminating some of them. So we can pay can't pay five of y'all, we could pay one of y'all. Can't pay five though. Get rid of four of them.
I just think they'll come to an agreement. Probably won't be what the writers want though. But I think I look at it the same way with the music industry. Once streaming really took off, artists weren't getting paid what they, you know what I mean? You hear artists all the time complaining they're not getting paid what they're supposed to get paid for their record sold versus streams and all that. And I think the writers are in the same process. We're in a new age, and things are done differently the way they've been done differently in the past because media is consumed differently. So
Right.
now you have so many different ways to consume the media. I'm not going to pay you for every different way the media is consumed. Like, that's just
Right.
not going to happen.
I just thought about it. I haven't supported well, actually, directly, I feel, but I guess indirectly, I haven't supported any rap album that's came out since God knows when. Maybe Marshall Mathers
Well,
LP, but I paid $10.99 a month for Apple. So
correct.
that means I'm supporting every album that comes out because I have access to all of them.
Now, what's funny is, like, I'm a Negro. I refuse to pay for it, so I rock my free Spotify, and I'm just gonna rock my artists from there. I refuse to even give them the $10.99 because it's free. Like, you think because it's free. Like, so
Okay. So people like you are the reason. I don't
hey,
gotta do anything.
yo,
It's not me, yo. It's
what's
not me.
crazy is, hey, yo, my wife pays for Apple, and I'd be mad as fuck. Like, yo, why are you paying for Apple? Like, it's free, right? Like, you can listen to music for free. You don't have to pay for the service. But
What I'm
yeah,
mad
you
at is
pay
the
for
people that,
conveniences.
yo, damn, check this shit out. The people that stream television. Like I get upset because I can't do it. I don't know what it is. My service, none of that Fire Stick stuff actually ever works for me for a long period of time. So I wind up
Really?
just buying the regular stuff. Yeah, I just buy the regular stuff. But
Nah.
like think about it. If you talk about the writer's strike, right? And you're like, damn, that's messed up about the writer's strike. And you also illegally stream your television and your TV, aren't you a part of the problem?
Partly, yeah. Well,
Wow.
no,
Well, let's
no.
find out. Well, let's find out how many things we slightly complain about that were actually part of the problem. Like, yo, this is funny because I take the TV stuff, right? People always they found ways to take the cable, whatever. I don't know how people do it. I just can't do it. I don't know why it doesn't work for me. But if that wasn't the case, if that couldn't go on, a lot more money would be circulated in those industries.
Possibly, but
Like there's no other way for you to listen to music. No other way. Like your ears had to be registered to listen to music. Like since your ears didn't register, you can't even hear the sound. Then it's like, yeah, money will be different.
Well,
Like
it will be.
You can't even listen to it. Like, yo, what happened?
I mean, yeah, it will be even more of an abundance for those entities who control those type of media. But I don't think those they got enough. Is enough for those money coming in. The few people that's using those back channels, I don't think they're denting it at all. So I don't feel sorry for them in no way, shape, or form. As far
so
as
you don't think the back channels and the black market is messing with it at all?
Not even close. Not even close.
Wow.
You see what these movies is going for, what they're selling for. They're doing billions. Man, please, they'll be all right. The couple people that's streaming it, and they got their backdoor fire sticks. They ain't missing nothing. No love lost for that.
Okay, so you don't think they're missing? They're missing
no
out
love
on
lost. Absolutely
Damn.
not. Absolutely not.
Damn.
And like anything else, even if they were making more, they still ain't trying to pay out more. You dig what I'm saying? So that trickle down effect shit is, as far as that's concerned, has proven not to work. Like the more money you give the billionaires, the more money you give the company. Yeah, they're gonna pay their employees more. That doesn't work. They don't do it that way, unfortunately. So as far as them missing their money on the top for the people getting a little fire sticks, no love lost.
Well, I'm not talking about the fire stick, but you know what I'm saying. The other streaming services and everything.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like if there was no bootleg movies, no bootleg music.
So you don't think there's a lot of people doing bootlegs?
I'm quite sure.
You don't think there's a lot of people like
I'm quite
streaming
sure it is
illegally?
Absolutely. But so check this out. So Disney made. I'm giving a number. So let's say Disney made $5 billion last year, right? Next year they make $10 billion. Do you think they're going to turn around and pay all their employees more money because they making more?
No.
Okay, so them missing out on a few dollars from the people with who are getting their source of media on back channels goes back to my original statement: no love loss, because you're going to pat it at the top, but it's not going to come back down to the bottom.
That's why we're in business, but you're not. You mean that's why we're in business. It's a funny thing because I can look at it from the owner's perspective and I can look at it from an employee's perspective. Like from an ownership, it's like you're just getting paid as an employee, and I guess the business is getting good, but you have no investing. You're not invested in the business at all, but just being an employee. You know what I mean? So, but the owner is investing in the business.
Now take your investment.
Invested in the building, and the owner is the one that gets all of the equity. I mean, and all of that stuff after investing. They put the initial investment up. So I built the company. You're employed, but because of the company makes so much money. Now that's when the pocket watching comes. It's like that. That can help build more company.
Take your invest and everything you invest, and you do it on your own, without the employees. You can't. So you need them just as much as they need you. Period.
Right. So, I get it. I get what you're coming from, but I'm coming from.
I got to battle that point you just put up. Because I dig it. So now you're going to fight for, you're going to point out that view. So now I got to point out like that view doesn't make sense. That view doesn't work.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the owners got to find a more way to
hide what they're making so people don't pocket watch.
Well, understand that, and then just do what they're doing now. Just fire them and get other people, because the thing is, the initial investment came from the owner. The owner built the company. You know what I mean? Employees, they work, and the company probably over time got big. You understand what I'm saying? So now that they get big, are the employees now? That's why they have stock shares and stuff like that. You can get stock shares and do things like that. You know, you can invest in it that way. But I doubt employees would do that. You know, like I said, you could tell somebody, look, let's invest in something together, right? Let's say I record,
well, you're assuming
video. But hear me out. Right. But this is employee mindset. Say I edit your video, right? I edit your video. I say, you give me, let's give me $900 a video. You're like, hell no, I'm not paying you that. I'm like, all right, no problem. When you get big, when the thing pops off, give me half of what you get. So that's the thing. Employees rather take the $900. Quick, like boom, I'm gonna take $900. But it's like, okay, fine. But now when that thing gets big, do you understand what I'm saying? Is the $900 still okay? Am I explaining that right?
I see where you're trying to go, I think you're missing a piece of it, but I see where you're trying to go. The problem with that is everyone is not in that same financial space to be able to not take the $900.
Well, that's
So
the problem too. You got to risk. That's why it's called the risk.
That $900. Yeah.
Everybody's not taking a risk. That's why the people that take
But
the risk, that's the difference.
again, we weren't having this discussion. The employees weren't having this discussion when the company was grassroots and only bringing in $4. Like they weren't having that discussion.
I did explain it right. I did explain it right.
$50 billion company.
Right.
Yeah, the employees expect more. Before you didn't have more to give, but now you do.
Right.
So
what
you're asking of these people, they're expecting more.
You're not going to get that opportunity. That's not how the life works, though. You got to figure that out in the end. So I'm asking you now: do you want to pay me $900 now, or I get half of what you get when everything gets big?
Well,
you probably say, I don't want to take your risk. But look, I don't want to pay you $900. I'll pay you half of what I get when I get big. Fine. So now you get big. Now I'm getting half what you get. You're probably not going to be happy that you're giving me that now. It's all risky.
Pretty much.
It's all risky. But it's all risky. But the people that take the biggest risk are the people that get the rewards. Like an employee is not necessarily taking a big risk is not taking as much as risk as the owner.
But it wouldn't work without the employee. That's the
point. I'm not saying that. But the employee is replaceable, not necessarily the owner.
But you still need an employee.
No, you still need an employee. But like I said, you take away the employee, you got to get another employee. You take away the owner, the whole business is done.
But that's what I'm saying. The whole business
is done. No, but that's what I'm saying. You're saying you need the employee to make the business run. Yeah, but the employee is expendable. Do you understand that?
Unfortunately, that particular one, but an employee has to be there. So an employer and employee, no matter who fills in that employee, are married together. One needs the other in order to make any of their dreams come true. Period.
Right. But
like they're married together.
The employer is never going to make nowhere near what the owner makes, and they shouldn't pocket watch that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. I
don't think that's expected, but I think what is expected is a respectable wage to be paid. I guess that. But as far as, when you look at like the writers' strike, I think that's Uber pocket watching. I think they're just upset. Like their deal is looking bad compared to where they're making now. So yeah, in that scenario, I think they just need to negotiate better going forward. You can't worry about yesterday. I think going forward under the new contract needs to be like, bro, you need to pay me more upfront for what you're asking for.
Yeah.
Because I know what you're going to make off of what I'm giving you. So now I know it. I want more upfront for it.
And the crazy thing is, that's cool. Wow. You know what? I'm just going to say how I feel. That's cool, but you fire those type of people. Like, go do it yourself. Because especially if you feel, I don't know what the situation is. I don't. But if you feel as the owner, no, I'm on par with the market. So if I'm under par with the market, I hear that, I get it. But if I'm on par with the market, there's no conversation afterwards. I got to fire you because this is not where you are right now. You're a disgruntled employee. I don't want people here hostage. I don't want to hold nobody hostage. You got to go somewhere else.
If you don't have any leverage in that situation, yeah. So
but most people don't going in. As employees, you don't have leverage. Like
if you're saying, yeah, I want to make $10 when the going rate is $3. Then yeah, you might have a hard time selling that because it'll be easier to find a million people to give $4 to, and they'll gladly take that. So yeah, if there's a line of people offering that service, then yeah, the person who's offering that service doesn't have any leverage in that situation.
Right.
But if they are offering a service that's a little harder to get, they have a little more leg room. It's all about leverage and power in that negotiated situation.
Right. No, I agree. But the masses, can you imagine the masses they don't have leverage? It's not leverage. They got to create a new avenue. I'm more with the create a new avenue and do stuff. But to go up to the people that's in charge and to think you have leverage is kind of like, oh, Like, yeah, I understand how upset you are, especially if it's a
You
money
know what?
thing. But
I don't know. I dig what you're saying, but okay. So if it's a company who's making gobs of money, right, and all of their employees to work there aren't able to sustain a living, then that's a problem. Then that's legitimately a problem. If you're making a shitload of money and you're paying these people $7 an hour and they can't afford a place to live, then yeah, that needs to change.
what is
But if
the
you're
going rate for what they're doing? In that same scenario, what's the going rate for what they're doing? Because I'm taking it from the other position. Like if I'm paying them the going rate for what they're doing, that's the going rate. And then now
maybe
it's
the
like
going rate
now
needs
that
to change.
right, maybe the
But
going rate needs
hold
to
on,
change
pause,
because now
pause. Hold
go
on,
ahead.
because under that, see, that's a piece of shit. That's a piece of shit point of view. Because in some states, right, the minimum wage hasn't changed from the state level, but everything, all cost of goods and everything is going up. So if you pay your employer the minimum wage in those states, they're well below able to sustain a living. So
What
a
is
lot
the
of places don't pay that minimum wage because it's not realistic. The state hasn't caught up to everything else around. I think that's a shitty point of view to take when paying someone because I don't think that's always realistic. Because the going rate could be wrong. That could be wrong. Whoever said
right,
that could be wrong.
right. You know, the thing is, whatever the going rate is, like I get it could be wrong, but you know, at this point, I don't care. Whatever the market says, that's what you get paid. That's the bottom line. I'm not being a stupid business owner trying to please my employees and killing my business at the same time. Whatever the market says you're supposed to get paid, that's what you get paid. And that's what it is for business. And that's the problem. I wouldn't change that. I wouldn't change that because I think you're just going to mess up yourself if you change that. I'm not saying that you're going to pay your employees below what they're supposed to be getting paid. No, I'm not saying that at all. But whatever is par is going to be par, and they still going to be unhappy.
Par is not right. What par is not accurate? What par hasn't caught up?
Who says par is not accurate?
Who says par is accurate?
That's the thing. So like, that's what it's all about. Like as a business owner, right? I'm thinking, look, what are the going rates? Let me see what the going rates of how are you with the job you're going. What do people get paid in the area in the state? Okay, we'll be right there at that level. That's what I'm going to pay you.
You know, only reason
right there. I'm not paying you more money. I'm not paying you more money because of the business model. Like it doesn't is what you do is the same thing that this person does here at this job. Okay. This is what the high person could get.
So check this out.
Here you go.
Check this out. So so let's use McDonald's as an example, right? So let's use fast food chains for an example. McDonald's has always been pandered and peddled to like kids, right? As far as like working after school, you work there, you know, little job. But a lot of McDonald's open 24 hours. Some McDonald's you'd be open till 1 o'clock in the morning. Who's working at those McDonald's at 1 o'clock in the morning? Ain't no fucking kids working there at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's adults working there, right? So if the minimum wage is $12, because yeah, it was kids, you know, kids can work there. It's a little small job. Like, how do you expect someone to sustain off that $12? But you're like, hey, that's the minimum wage. We can fill it at $12. Good fucking luck. And then when you do, it's fucked up because they're obviously that's rough. That's not realistic. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I dig what you're saying. I'm not saying you put yourself in a situation where you put your business at harm, but I think it has, you know, you have to find a way in between, because we can also attest to, you know, you get what you pay for. Like, yeah, you can give me the market, but the effort you're going to get is going to be market effort. You're not going to get above and beyond effort.
And the crazy thing is, as the owner, they know these things. Like, you know what I mean? And to your example, so I'm paying kids $12 an hour because in this example, that's how much it is, right? So an adult, because he took the night shift or a night, I'm supposed to pay him how much money? How much more money an hour?
I don't know, but more.
Only because he's an adult or because he has more responsibilities?
Well, obviously working
at night. He's doing the same jobs. Okay, the night thing. Let's say the night thing. Anybody.
Okay, then get the kid to do it then. Get the kid to do it. Go get the kid to do it.
Right. Even if a kid worked that night, say he was 18 and he worked that night because he wanted to do it. He wanted to work at night. Even if he worked at night. So the kid and the adult working at night, they both got the same type of experience with this type of stuff. you don't think they're supposed to be getting paid the same?
Well, my point was that $12 is not realistic. Is my point. Whether it's for the kid or the adult, it's not realistic. That was the point. It doesn't matter who's taking it, the kid or the adult.
Now I see what you're saying. Okay, I just opened up a McDonald's based on a business model, and I see did the numbers based on the cash flow what I could get, and I looked at what McDonald's across the nation pay their employees. Then I looked at what the state pay their employees. Then I looked at the area what they pay their employees. So if I open up a McDonald's based on that business model, how much am I supposed to pay my employees so I can cash flow? I'm not going to pay them more than any other McDonald's in the area. I mean, think about it. Think about it from you. You bought a McDonald's, Xavier. You studied the numbers with the business model. You're going to be paying your McDonald's employees $25 an hour. You're not going to make that, Xavier. Like, I know how nice you want to be. You're not going to make that. You have to real quick. You have to find a business where you could do stuff like that, where you could let go of some of your cash flow and give back to other people. But fast food and stuff like that, a lot of these businesses are not those businesses.
First of all, I mean, again, I'm not saying. Well, we obviously we have to take McDonald's out the equation because they're a much bigger company and they can sustain that. But if you're an individual opening up a small business,
you individually you open up a McDonald's. You're the owner of the McDonald's. You open a McDonald's.
Maybe I shouldn't be opening up that McDonald's because that needs to be in my calculations. That needs to be in my calculations. That needs to be part. That needs to payroll is your largest expense. That needs to be calculated.
You only open up the McDonald's based on a business model the franchise gave you. They show you how much the employees getting paid. You see what they're getting paid. You can see what it is. You can look up those numbers, and you decide to open a McDonald's.
I don't disagree. Like and this is
hold on. So how much you paying your cashier?
This is why. No. This is why I'm saying what do you do when the standard that's set is not accurate? Because now you're in a conundrum. You're right. I don't disagree with you.
I'm saying I can see it now. You open a McDonald's, I'm like, Xavier, how much you pay your cashier? Exactly my point, bro. That's what I'm saying. No. I know what you said. We're being realistic. We're being empathetic, and we're being that way. But what I'm saying is, put your real stuff in the shoes, bro.
Now, hold on. I'm trying to open up a McDonald's, right? And I see the minimum wage is $12. I also understand a happy employee is a long-lasting employee and a better performing employee, and pay is one of the easiest ways to get there, as well as working environment, right? So you figure you're going to provide a nice working environment. So the next thing is pay. I would like to be in a situation. All right, if the going rate is 12, I'm looking at that. Maybe my going rate is 14. Maybe my going rate is 13.75. Now I have employees flocking to come work for me, and they're happy to come work for me. And they wonder why my McDonald's is doing $40,000 orders more than the McDonald's right down the road. Because my employees are happy to be there. I got less call outs. I got less people quitting. My turnover is lower. You know how much money companies spend on rehires? Like, if I can cut that out, that goes right into my expenses. So yes, those type of thoughtful things need to be in my startup costs. And you know what? Up that franchise.
I hope you guys listen to Xavier. Hit the like and subscribe button, because Xavier said some stuff right there that's really, really nice. And I'm not saying that at all. I'm opening up McDonald's, and I'm trying to pay you a little less.
You $7. You horrible.
I'm trying to pay you a little less than people paying. No, because listen, terrible. I'm only in it for the business model. You pay. Look. All right. Let's say your scenario worked. Fine. Now let's look at your scenario in another way, right? Let's say I paid a standard rate of $12, like everybody's paying. I'm not paying you $14. You know what? I can see you doing good and give you a bump up, whatever the percentage is supposed to be. I'm still gonna go with what the percentage is supposed to be. You got him at $14.
So then you're gonna give them 5-cent increase.
Whatever it's supposed to be. I'm not. Listen. Let me tell you.
Then you wonder why your people quitting and smoking in the bathroom all day.
Hear me out, Xavier. Hear me out. I'm not going to be the one personally doing that. I'm only following business model. Like, I only know business model. I'm not personally taking a stake in what person somebody's going to get for a raise. You're going to follow this like
That's
syllabus
a
or whatever that
really
I gave you
good.
for my business. I'm not into this. This is
That's a
what you
really
get
good
paid.
scapegoat. That's a really
Yeah.
good shitty work culture you're developing right there.
Only
I
collect
dig
the
it.
work. Yeah, look, only collect the money and I take care of the repairs and the expenses on the business and make sure the business is operating right. Make sure everything is correct. All of the regulations are right. It's a clean,
And
good
that's
work
the thing.
environment.
It's
I'm
only
not
going to
there
be
to get you
successful
rich.
based off your employees. And
Right. But that don't mean that for $2, bro, we're still talking. Think about it. For $2, somebody's still going to have an issue with you.
Hey, yo.
They're still going to have an issue with you. And now look, and now when they have the issue.
I just know they're going to be in your McDonald's like, yo, they paying more at that McDonald's down the road. All right, I'm going down there. They paying more. I'm going to do the same shit and they're going to pay me more. Fuck it. It's a win-win for me. They're asking me to do the same job. It's a nicer place to work and they're paying me $2 more. I'm out.
$2 is a lot, man. $2 is a lot.
Exactly. I'm out.
You could fight. You could probably fight for $2 in an interview process, but I'm not going to be a part of the interview process. I don't want to be a part of none of that. I have a company, all that take care of all that.
Yeah,
I want to
it
go
sounds
with the
like
business model.
It sounds like you a shitty guy to work for. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like Ronald's a shitty guy to work for.
No, not. I wouldn't say that. Like I said, the most important thing is safe work environment. You know, I make sure you have a safe work environment. Everything's clean, functional. But I'm going by the business model. I'm not doing any favors, no crazy things.
Yeah,
if you know what, if you're a manager, you get paid. You deserve to get paid. You deserve to get. Whatever the thing is. Hold on, real quick. All I'm saying is there's a business model for these things to work. There's a pay and price point for these things to work. I'm sticking to that. I'm not doing no favors for nobody.
They're all templates that are made to be changed and skewed based on your particular situation. I think that's a really scapegoaty way to say, yo, what? That's the blueprint. That's the template. Can't be changed. Sorry, it is what it is.
Yeah. No, it's not even a scapegoat way. That's the way business run. Like I didn't get into business to change anything.
Nobody said change.
That's like me
to work for you.
That's like me doing something stupid. Get in a house, and all of a sudden I want to have the rent lower. I've suffered through that crap. That's crap. That's not how it works. I'm not beating for none of that shit. Everything is market.
That's
everything
not the
is market.
same.
Whether I'm playing an employee, it's market. I learned my lesson with that business model.
I think that business models are a blueprint, and they're not in stone. They can be modified to work for your particular situation. They're not one size fits all. And they're tweaked to fit your business model and your particular business and situation.
And it's also successful ones. It's successful business model. And I'm saying is you're paying your employees in this hypothetical at least $2 more than everybody else. That adds up. You got 50 employees.
So the question is, am I green? The question is, am I green? If I'm green and I'm cash flowing, then yes, it works.
What if you're not?
Then that's a problem. But paying my employees might not be it though. It might be a bigger problem than paying my employees. Why is my business not doing well? It's not because I'm paying my employees well. Maybe I'm not providing a service nobody wants. Like maybe no one wants my product, but it's not because I'm paying my employees well. I promise you that, bro.
All right, in your hypothetical, that's what it is. But like I said, I feel comfortable. Nothing would make me ever change. I'm not overpaying nobody, like at all. I've come from working too, and I know how it goes, and I know how much idle time I had and shit I wasn't doing. So no, that's not happening. I'm going with the business. I'm going with the business model. I don't care, bro. Bro, listen. I could be seem like a hypocrite, but I'm gonna be analytical and be real. I come from working 15 years, just one company, but 20 years total. I know how much idle time goes on. I'm not beat. Everything is market. I don't care. An employee could come to me and tell me, I do XYZ. I'm so traumatized from my trauma. I'm like, what's the market, man? All right. What's the best person? Who is this person making? How much are they bringing in? All right, boom. You're not doing the same thing. I can't pay you that. I mean, that's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. Like, I understand you want to get paid more money, but you got to take.
But I think
come on, you give people $2 more for no reason.
Bro,
you just for the door,
it's not for no reason. It's not for no reason.
Because anything to yet. So
They
how you
don't
gonna give
have-
them a raise, X? How would you give a
Bro.
raise? You gave somebody $2 more than anybody else
Bro,
is getting.
first of all, we already established well-paid employees are happy employees. Happy employees perform better than unhappy employees. We already established that. You pay people like shit. Sometimes they call out a lot. Sometimes they get sick. Sometimes they don't want to come. Sometimes they don't. They give you even more idle time.
They do that. Yo, I've seen managers get paid shitload more than everybody else calling out. So that's not all the way true neither.
But also
we have to make it true for your hypothetical, but that's not the case.
But you also got to look at, the place they were working and what they've been asked to do and a lot of stuff they've been through at that particular place. So maybe they're not fully invested anymore mentally in those places. So like those aren't apple for apples, and we can't use someone who's fucking up the situation to say, hey, I'm just gonna broad stroke everybody with this behavior. That's not okay as well. We can't do that. I'm just
saying, bro. I've seen people and I know people. I've paid people good price. I don't even like to haggle. A lot of times I get somebody to do something. I don't want to haggle because I got the money anyway. Hold on. I got the money anyway. And then once they start doing it, 80% of the time, once they start doing it, it's always some money issue. They always could have thought they could have got paid more money or want more money. Everybody's always gonna have an issue with the money.
The thing is not how much idle time you have. I'm paying you to get a job done. And is the job done? See, that's the problem. Like, you had idle time. So fucking what? You paid me to do X, Y, and Z. Did I accomplish it or did I not? Did I exceed your expectations or did I not? That's what's important. Not the idle time in between.
It wasn't important before.
You told me, hold on. If you gave me 10 things to do, right? And I did those 10 things in 6 hours instead of 8. Are you upset because I did it quicker?
Come on, bro. That's corny. Do it in 2 hours instead of 8. Yeah.
Okay, fine. I did it in 4.
No, people are doing it 2 hours, 2 hours, fine. 3 hours.
Hold on. Okay, I did it in 2. Why is that a problem? Why is that a problem?
I'm not saying it's a problem, but I got to reevaluate my business model. Like you said, it's all something to be reevaluated, right? I'm going to reevaluate my business model and say, yo, I see X is doing it for the boom, 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 boom. It only takes him 3 hours to do his job. This is 8 hours. It only takes him 3 hours to do his job, and he still has time. As a manager, as an owner of a company, no, not a manager, as an owner, you're looking at that like, hold up. Damn.
Correct. So now what you're going to make, all you're going to make him do is work slower.
No, I'm not.
Else. Well, see, then hold on. Then like with other now the word is going to be, hey, bro, what we do around here is we stretch this out. We don't finish it quicker. So now you don't see that fast production anymore. Now the norm is 6 hours. Now it gets done in 6 hours. Because soon as one person is penalized for doing it in 2, it ain't gonna take long for everybody to know they got to do this in 6.
It's a lot of,
and there's no way around that. There's no way around that.
I hear what you're saying. I'm just speaking from my own working experience, and maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm full of shit, but it's a lot of idle time, boy. And I'm not paying for it. I wouldn't pay for it in my business model. I wouldn't pay. That's why I couldn't do certain business models.
Time. You're paying for job. You're not paying for time.
Yeah, but
you're
what I'm saying
is tasks done.
Okay, put it this way: if 5 people are doing something, if I got 5 people at one desk, I can do that with 2 people. I already know that. And then those 2 people, they're going to be some days, because this is the whole thing with everybody probably. There's some days, not a lot. There's some days we need extra help, or we need all of those guys. We need all those power and brain work. Maybe on some days, a Tuesday out of the week, we needed that. But all the rest of the days, you didn't need that. And I'm just saying, I know. Hear me out. I know you didn't need it, because check it out. Before I got popped, I started walking around watching this shit. Like, yo, if I had 6 people in this store, 6 of these type of employees. Real quick. I said to myself, if I had 6 of these particular type of employees, I saw the one employee. I said, like, if I had 6 people like this, I could run this whole shit. That's what I think. Like, that's exaggerating a little bit. Maybe 10 people.
That's only because the people that they need to serve are lessened, so they have more time. But I'm noticing that too as a business owner. But that's not always the case. It wasn't always the case. So when it was created, it wasn't created with the now in mind. So yeah, the now might go
I mean,
from
yeah.
100 to 50, but then
Yeah,
they
that's what I'm
still gonna
saying.
have that, but they're still gonna have that same idle time. That doesn't change because the people they need to see still aren't there. So it's gonna
Right,
be equivalent
right,
to
but
them.
right, but it's still not 5 people. I mean, and that's what we got going on in certain places. It's like, whoa, this is redundant. You got too many people here doing nothing. Not for nothing. Like, and
But then when you get the influx of people, you can't help those people. So
right,
then
and
that
that's
becomes money lost. So
and
then
the
it
problem
becomes
is that's
what
few
comes
and far
first, the
between.
chicken. Then it comes, but maybe not, because now becomes what comes first, chicken or the egg? Because now you don't want to put the people there, but now the people aren't there to help other people.
Right. I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is I understand why my job is gone. They didn't need me no more. They didn't need me.
Yeah.
They need a lot of, they didn't need a lot of other people. No, real talk. That's the job. I've knew this before. Like, if you feel like you're not needed, you got to think to yourself, like, oh, okay, hold up.
Yeah, you
Hold
better
up.
be able to see the writing on the wall.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And I've seen that. You had 5 people doing something that one person or 2 people could have done. And it's like, yo, okay, now that 1 or 2 people are there and they still got idle time. Yeah, my point exactly. Because you definitely didn't need the other 3. You definitely need the other 3. That's all I'm saying.
Correct.
That's all I'm saying. And to the pay point, right? I won't mind paying the 10 people I was telling you about, right? I don't mind paying the 10 people I was telling you about, but I'm not paying 30 people because I don't need 30 people.
Well,
I'll pay 10 good ones and they'll be good.
Yeah,
Huh?
like what? That doesn't make any sense.
No, but that's
Like,
what's
soon as
still
you-
going. That's what people are looking at now. That's what the whole.
Well-
that's what economists are looking at now. Owners are looking at, like, hold up.
Well, yeah.
10 people doing
Those
what
things
does
are-
this for me. Not
Yeah, those
30.
things are
I don't need 30.
But that's
I don't
just the
need
new-
Ronald. I don't
that's
need
just the
Ronald.
new age. That's just the new age we're in. Times is changing, so businesses are going to pivot to accommodate for the change in the way we are in the economy and the way businesses are functioning nowadays. So yeah, so maybe you had 30 people in this office, you realize you only need 18. Some of these jobs are redundant.
Yeah,
You
and
don't
that's
need a
big-
middle
that's a
six.
big
You don't need
workforce.
5 middle managers. You know what I mean? You only need 1 overhead manager and a manager below him.
So you
But-
do get what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I get it.
What you just said is exactly what I'm talking about. What is it's
Yeah.
redundant? Like, the position is redundant. And once you feel that, it's like, well, damn, like, hold up, let me be ahead of this thing at least.